Good morning, boys and girls. So this is going to be a quick initial run through on Nova Launcher. Nova Launcher is analogous, like all other launchers on Android, analogous to your desktop on your Windows, Mac, Chromebook computers. Basically where you launch all of your apps. So first thing we're going to do today is kind of wander through settings, give you guys a as quick as possible look at what all the settings do. I say as quick as possible because the settings list is long and in depth. But I will try to do this as succinctly as I can, while explaining as much as I can about what each item does. And as you run through, pause the video, pop a question into comments, and I will answer them. Quick little sip of water, prep up. Okay, first things first, home screen. So, going to home screen, your first option is your desktop grid. You can make it go all the way up to a 12 by 12 grid, which will make your icons tiny, but you can do it if you really want to shove 144 icons onto a single home screen. My advice, don't. Subgrid positioning, that basically means that you could, if you wanted to, so you're shifting an icon over, instead of going straight up in there, you can actually go into a subgrid position. I could bring it right next to my MeWe folder, or right over here next to Starbucks, or I can center it like a normal symmetric human being. Let's see here. Icon layout. So what this does is allows you to adjust your icon size. I am capped at 111 because of my grid count. You can add labels, and once you get in add labels, you can change text type, change text size. So look how tiny and how big it gets. You can change up your text color. If you know hex editing or RGB spectrum, you can play with that. You can either single line or double line, or let's bring this to a nice bright color so you can see better. You can take shadows away or add shadows. Bit hard to tell. I've never really played with that. But I want everyone to kind of look and see what this font, color, shadow, single line, etc., does now, because that is actually going to become very common as we go through this. So let's run through that one more time. You have your fonts, more normal, medium, condensed, light, the size of said font, the color of the font with RGB and hex editing spectrum. You can show shadows or take them away, and show single line or take it away. Shadows may actually be a bit easier to see on normal. Not really. Okay. Padding. This is for you folks with your waterfall, infinity, curved, whatever nomenclature the manufacturer chooses to use, be it Samsung, Huawei, OnePlus, whatever. Especially your horizontal padding. This brings your icons in from the side of the screen or in from the top and bottom. Side of the screen is really handy for those with curved displays because it helps you avoid accidental touches. Your dock. You can have as many as 5 dock pages. You can have as many as 7 icons. So, if you want to, in addition to your 144 apps up on a single page, you can also have 35 dock icons. 144 plus 35, yeah, 179 apps. If you have more apps than that and ever need to go into your app drawer with that many apps visible right there, come find me. You need an intervention. Icon layout. This I've got it set up so that matches desktop grid because that makes it nice and uniform. But if you want to, again, everything we just went through, do the exact same way. Change your label color, etc., etc. If you don't want to match desktop grid, again, same deal. Excuse me. Okay. And you have the exact same padding set up. Infinite scroll basically means if you have, I've only got one page, but if you were to have multiple pages of dock icons, you could theoretically scroll back, forth across those pages. You can remember position, which will say you swiped over to page number 3, it will keep you on page number 3. Correction on infinite scroll, that means it will round robin. My apologies. Okay. Let's kill labels because I know what all my folders are. I don't need labels. Let's see here. Search bar. Style. Okay, so look at the very top here. Let's change my bar color to something non-transparent so you can see it easier. Okay. You have standard oval, square, outline. This is kind of a Nova special all-in-one. So where the G is, you would have open up Google app or the Google overlay widget. We'll get to that in a second. You can have voice search right there with the microphone. And where the grid of dots is, will open up your app drawer. You can also have your pill form, which is standard on Google Pixels. You can change down here where it says logo style, change your various logo types, so on and so forth. That even works on pill form. Me personally, I prefer that, and I prefer transparency. To note, Nova settings do not take effect unless you are sure to hit that check mark. Otherwise, they'll say, maybe you didn't mean to do it. Whatever. Search window. So, you can do Nova search, which basically does app searching and has some limited external search, but it's primarily for app search. You can do Google App Overlay, which brings down kind of a full screen widget, or you can have it open up just the Google app itself. The voice search, and you can change it to from classic to assistant. Let's go back. Okay. Search provider, you can do, or not that one. Wallpaper scrolling. So, I turn on wallpaper scrolling, and let's fire up the second screen here. And let's change our wallpaper to something a bit more visible. There we go. Home screen. That's what wallpaper scrolling does. It actually scrolls wallpaper with you if you have one that stretches across multiple home screens. Transition effect will bring in various effects for when you change out your homes or when you switch to a different home screen. Infinite scroll, I had that checked. So what that means is I can swipe one direction. So right now I'm swiping from right to left, and it just keeps on flipping back and forth. Okay. I personally prefer wallpaper scrolling off, and I am a simple ass bitch. Page indicators. So, what you can do with page indicator, you have none, which I have highlighted. You have the 3 dots with the middle one being large. The large dot will always indicate what page you're on. So page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The reason it didn't show how max number of home pages like it did docs is because with Nova, as far as I know, there is no maximum. I've seen setups where there are 10 pages, full-size widget on each page. To each their own. 3 regular dots does not show where you are in your homepage layout, but it shows how many pages, and line just acts as a little subdivider. I had, let's see here. Next up is going to be, okay, you can change your indicator color. So, let's throw that line back on there. And you see how it changed from white to blue. That's what that does. Add icons home screen. This is a bit redundant. Unless you turn it off in Google Play will automatically add icons to your home screen. If you choose to turn it off there and leave this on, this will do the exact same thing. I download something from Google Play, it'll add it to my home screen. Go into advanced. You can lock your layout, which if we lock our layout, what that will do is like that. And then I have to hold down the lock icon in order to do anything with it. Show shadows. So what that does is, it's going to be impossible to tell on that wallpaper. So let's switch over to, excuse me. I've been talking too much. This is my second run through on this. I goofed the first one. Okay, there's a nice bright wallpaper. So if you look down here towards the bottom where my navigation bar is, and up towards the top right above that Google search, look at how it has a slight gradient. Now if we go back in Nova settings and we kill shadows, you see how it's a little bit brighter? That's what that does. It's cool. It actually has no practical effect whatsoever. That is purely aesthetic. Widget overlap. This allows you to take 2 widgets. So we go into widgets here, and I will go over all of this widget placement, folder setups, and all that stuff as we go. Don't worry about me breezing through it. I'm not going to miss all that. So, okay, we have 1 widget there, and we scroll down to, let's say, a clock widget. We can, sure, that works. Overlay them. Right now, if I click resize, I could theoretically set it up so that it looks kind of like that. How would that screw with someone? Tap on clock or tap on audible. And that's how that would work. You can get rid of widgets by long pressing and remove. Long press and remove. Thank you. Okay. Get that crap out of here. Let's see here. What is next? Next is app drawer. Again, same thing. You have your grid layout size. I'm not sure why mine got changed. Probably during my last run. But yeah, okay, that's where I want it. You can change it to vertical list. So that's what list would look like. Vertical. That's what that would look like. And horizontal, which is, come on, there you go, going like that. Me personally, I prefer vertical. Background color. So you see, well, let's do icon layout. Exact same thing. Icon size, match desktop size. You can have your labels on or off. You can show your shadow, show single line, change up your colors. Same as we were doing before. Background color. You notice it says night mode may override this setting. We actually have a night mode setting in Nova Launcher. Holy crap, that is bright. Ow. So you can change your background color to something nice and light blue. Change the background transparency. Switch it to a card background. And again, change your card background. Put frequently used apps up top. Set your top bar to be a search bar or a tab bar. The way we will get into tabs here in a minute. Swipe up to open and close. Swipe indicator. And scroll accent color. Change that to whatever you like. If you're on a horizontal scroll, you can change it so that you have, again, the same transition effects as with home screen. And again, infinite scroll means it will round robin. So we changed our background color to that, and we set up card background, and we put the indicator back in. So there's what your card background looks like. Let's say I wanted to, since I still have it on horizontal scroll, let's put our transition effects to cube. Why not? Okay. Ta-da. And there's our background transparency. So if we drop that down, it now looks a lot less transparent. So on and so forth. You take off that card background, and it will do the entire screen in that shade instead of just the majority of it. Frequently used apps up top. So, since... Go away. Up here, let's do one other thing real quick. Make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, change our background transparency to 0. Okay, now, up here, you see... it's not going to show you too well. Let's go to black. Save. There we go. Okay, so you see up here, I have Game Launcher, News, MeWe, Chrome, Martin Driver. Those are my most frequently used apps. Up above that, you have Search for All Apps. And you can tell the segregation, you have to look a little bit close, and this is why I changed color, was you can see a kind of a light gray line, and that will segregate. If you have a horizontal layout, obviously. Now that's interesting. Outdoor style vertical, please. Let's see if that fixed it. There we go. Oh, apparently I can do either way with this one. That I did not know. Interesting. Okay. See, even I'm learning new stuff. Where was I? Either way, that will put your frequently used apps up top. So if I were to switch over to, let's say, IMDb and want to open that, or Maps and want to open that, notice it didn't really change because I don't open those apps that often. That was a fail. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Alright, getting kind of screwed up here. Drawer groups. Okay, so what I can do is I can set up various tabs for each one. So my test tab here, I have these set up. And you'll note when we... Actually, let's do it this way. Go back. Let's go to app drawer. And let's change that top bar to tab bar. Okay. Tab style. You can do material, color block, or classic. Those just tinker with. Figure out which one you like best. They are completely aesthetic. You can isolate tabs. So what'll happen is when you're swiping back and forth on your app drawer, your tabs will not change. You'll actually have to go up there and tap a tab. It delineates the function a bit and makes it a lot easier. You have menu action icons. So I can set it up so that if I tap on the menu, I have search, Play Store, and my menu up there. Okay, so let's take this for a test run. Now I have my tabs. Here's my menu action icons up here. Search, Play Store, and menu. And that'll take me Nova settings. Ignore how dark on dark that is. That's simply because the way I have it set up. That is completely modifiable. Up here we have tabs and we have our test. And then you'll know before I set up a folder where I have some games installed. So we go here, drawer groups, folders, I have games, edit, and I can choose to keep the games in main tabs, select more apps for it, hit cancel, hit OK, and I can just delete the folder from there. Tabs, again, these are all of my apps that I have installed. Yes, I know I need an intervention. It'll be okay. And when I edit this, I can select which apps to hide. And I can show on this list, show apps that are already hidden. That way I can choose to unhide them if I wanted to. You can rearrange your tabs to whatever you like. You can trash them. Let's see here. If we go back into app drawer, I think that's about it. Automatically close. Basically, you select an app, it closes. Remember position. It will remember where you were. Okay. Me personally, I prefer just keeping the search bar. Now, folders. Okay. So we have window style. It can either be a window like that, or it could be immersive. Here's the difference. I go into there, that's window. I go into immersive, and it will take up a lot more. You can change your background color to whatever you like. Change your transparency. Change your corner radius, so make it more squared, more rounded. Set it to a card background or where it overtakes the entire screen, just like it did with the app drawer. You can show your folder name, show your grid, choose your scroll direction, horizontal or vertical. I advise picking either a horizontal theme or a vertical theme and rolling with it. Icon layouts. Just like everything else we've done so far. Match desktop size, or you can change it to whatever you like. Have your label. You can change your text size, change your color. Right now it's managed by Nova. And what that does is it keeps me from accidentally choosing a color that is going to completely interfere, clash, or be obscured by another color. So, for example, right now I have it set up for material teal. Okay. So I kill manage, and if I turn that on to material teal, now you can see my text is completely obscured. I need to go to something different, and that changes it. Or you can just leave it as managed by Nova, and it will pick a contrasting color for your text. Again, shadows, single line, choose your size, choose your fonts, etc. Or you can just kill labels entirely. Take your pick. Let's see here. Transition animation. So, zoom or circle. Okay, so there's circle, and there's zoom. Subtle, but it is slightly different. Icon folder appearance. This is where we get a little bit silly. You can change various. You can even set up like this. And choose a custom. You can choose a teardrop. You can choose square. You can clip to background. So what this will do is look at the yellow email icon. When I hit clip to background, it shrinks it within the bounds. Unclip it, and it takes it out of the bounds. You can change your folder style or your icon style, and so on and so forth. Next up, we get into look and feel. This is where we get the nuts and bolts of making it your own. So, icon style, text, theme, and shape. Again, we can change our icon pack. Icon packs can be purchased sometimes for free, sometimes for paid on Play Store. Look at your rating. Look at the number of icons it includes. Look at the screenshots they post up. And if it doesn't have the exact icon for the app you're looking for, don't worry too much about it. There will be an icon that it will fix. Generate icon. Okay, AutoGen. Generate themed icons for apps this theme does not cover. So what that means is, with icon packs, some of them have what they call masks. And what they'll do is, if, let's go here, this is my work icon. You see up here where it shows that little light blue border? That is what they call a mask. Looks cool, looks whatever. I'm not particularly a fan of that look. And what it's doing there I don't think Blacklight, which is the icon pack I'm using, actually does masks. So that is Nova Launcher auto-generating a mask so that it will at least attempt to look kind of like the rest of the icon pack. If you were to shut it off, that's what happens. Look on the far right where it says Legacy. There's the difference. You can also, if an icon has an adaptive setup, you can change it to look at where it says adaptive, squircle, rounded, or you can customize it to your heart's content. Whatever you prefer to do. Remember, if you do custom, hit that check mark. Otherwise, it will not work. I personally just leave it following system. You can reshape your legacy icons, which will basically do the same masking trick, but it will do it in the icon shape instead of just a coloration. Adaptive icons animation. Wiggle during drag and drop. You know what? I never understood the point of that, but basically it will kind of do a quick shimmy when you long press it and start moving it. Your fingers covering it, unless you're using a stylus. Check it, uncheck it, whatever. I completely forgot that setting even existed. You can prefer legacy icons. So if you prefer the icon packs from Android 8 or Android 7 or something along those lines, you could check that, and if that app developer left his legacy icon layout in there, it will revert to that. Normalized icon size basically means it's going to try to take whatever scale you chose during desktop, etc., it's going to try to override that slightly so that all of the icons look somewhat uniformly same size. Because you have, for example, Google Play is just the little triangle, whereas Google Play Music is a triangle with a large rounded circle behind it. Get your iconography straight, Google. If you were to keep them both right at 70, one would look larger than the other, even if they were the same size, because Play Music has that circle behind it. Going into normalized icon size will try to overcome that slightly. Screen orientation set default, which is based on system preferences. Right now I'm locked to portrait, which I pretty much stay that way. Auto rotate will auto rotate with the screen. So if you're in portrait, if you're holding this phone vertical, it'll portrait, landscape, it'll do the landscape. Force portrait, force landscape. Scroll speed. These are your various speed of animation. So you remember the cube card effect, or the flip or stacked or whatever. This controls how fast those actually go. App animation, again, various animation types. This is going to be for mostly opening apps and home screen type stuff. And you can look and see Pi Likes was standard in Android 9, or is standard in Android 9 if you still have that. Reveal was standard Android 6, slide up Android 5, zoom Android 4.2, blink Android 4.0. Slide left is Nova's own little special deal they like doing. Let's see here. Pop-up menu. Okay, so this is a little bit interesting. Again, this is going to be mostly aesthetic, but you have block or pills. Right now, I am set up on pills. So let us... Okay, you see how you have the little pills there. Broken down almost like a card layout. And you have up here at the very top your various... Here, let's do it on one that does not have all of that. Okay, there we go. So, again, pills. Then up top you have uninstall, which is your trash can. Remove, which is the X. Widget. Forgot what that one was. App information, and you can edit the way you edit the app icon. If we were to switch this to block, hit done. Be sure to hit done. It changes that format. You keep all your information, but it changes format. If we go into, I'm going to change it back to pill because I like that. Now, that upper section where you saw uninstall, remove, and all that stuff, you can add stuff here. You can relaunch it. You can hit Play Store. And you can do this for discreetly for home screen or drawer. So we'll do home screen. I have relaunch and Play Store selected as well now. So if I do the same thing, now I have the relaunch and the Play Store. Click on Play Store, it takes me to the Play Store page for it. Let's see here. What relaunch does is just relaunches it. Not quite sure why that would be there for a home screen, but it is. Yay, options. Okay. Drop targets. So, what this does is, let's say I wanted to drag and drop this. Actually, I need to do it a different way. Go away. There we go. Okay, so say calculator. Long press. And you see up here, uninstall, app info, edit. That's what that's for. Don't need you. Thank you. Go away. Okay, show undo bar. So you saw the stuff I was doing there. Again, let's bring calculator over here. Now, let's get rid of it. And look down at the bottom of my screen. Item removed, undo. I tap undo, it reverts what I just did. That's what that's for. Oh, come on. Get your fingers right. Okay. Scroll down a little bit. Notification bar. So we can show the notification bar. So now it's there. Notification bars up here, your status bar. You have your icons, your LTE indicators, etc., etc. I kill notifications bar, and it is gone. That is only for the home screen. That has no effect on your notification shade or your status bar. I don't know why they call it notification bar. It's actually status bar, but whatever. It has no effect on it while you are in another app. So even if I turn it off and I open up Google News, you see it comes back. Transparent, again, keeps it transparent. I uncheck that and it becomes black. Same with navigation bar, which is your 3 buttons down at the bottom there. Dark icons, so if I were to turn on dark icons and turn on hide navigation bar, we can see what happens here. It hid the navigation bar. And when I go to Let's go Google. See how it drops it down to dark status bar icons. That's all that does. Okay, let's go back in here. I actually like having my navigation bar, thank you, and I do not need a status bar. App search background color. So if I were to hit my home button, brings up an app search. I could search for play music. Okay. What was I listening to earlier? Daughtry. Cool. I can actually change that color to whatever I like. Same stuff applies. Let's go down a little bit more. Is that all look and feel? I believe it was. Okay. Night mode. This is fairly new. If you went to Nova Launcher a while back and decided, never mind, you haven't seen this before. This was in the last update. So you can force night mode on completely always. You set it to auto for whatever time you want. Use location enhancement. You can set it for a custom time frame. I like leaving it on. Then you have your different shades of black. So you have gray, you have darker gray, and you have AMOLED black. Use dark theme on search bar, app drawer, folder icons, folders. Okay, so that's what that does. Gestures and inputs. Okay, so you have options for your home button. You can do all of this on your home button. So right now I have my home button set to launch app search. I can set it to launch the app drawer instead, expand my notifications, expand quick settings. So let's do expand quick settings. Back up, I hit home again, and it drops my quick settings down. Let's see here. We can go back to app search. Again, and you can set this up only on homepage. So if you have only on main homepage. So if you have multiple homepages, like we were saying before, with 3, 4, 5 different home screens, you uncheck that, and whatever you do with your home button will actually work on any of those. Swipe up, I have nothing. Swipe down, I have expand notifications. So swipe down, and it expands my notifications. Double tap. All of these are things you can do. I can go through each one of them if you want, but whatever. Okay, Google hot word. So my other phone just.
Sorry, you can't change my name.
Thank you, Google. Dumb twat. Anyways, that thingy. I'm not even gonna say it again. Turn on, turn off, and it will be able to launch it straight from Nova Launcher. That's kind of redundant at this point because of Giggle's already having an always listening mode. But if you have an older phone, that'll cover for that. Integrations. So the main integration they have right now is Sesame Shortcuts. You can install it, uninstall it. This is what all it can do. Pause if you like. Going back in 3, 2, 1. It's actually pretty cool. I used it for a while. It was a bit much for me personally, but it's cool. It is very handy. Okay, notification badges. Large, medium, small, itty bitty. You can change it to whatever corner you wish. You can set it up for material, hollow, classic, custom. And of course, if you go to custom, you have your text color. So we can make that hot purple. You have the badge color, which we can make. And you have the border color. And of course, you can change your corner radius. Notifications and pop-up menu. So, if I actually had a notification, I could show you that. But what it would do is, let's say I long pressed MeWe here, and actually we need to go up and long press MeWe, and if okay, let's do Twitter. There we go. Capture new tweet. In this, and mixed all this would be if I had a notification, it would actually show the notification in there. Let's see here. That's about it for notification badges. Dynamic badge. Okay, so none, which means no notification badge. Dynamic badges, which will actually kind of show who it's from, if the app supports that. Dots just shows a dot, yay, it's there, IO, on off. Or numeric dots actually shows you the number of notifications you have. Backup and import settings. This is important. Very important. Backup. You can make a backup once you get everything the way you like. Share it to document storage, which would be Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, etc., or you can share it to someplace for self-keeping. So I could share it to a buddy of mine so that he can always have it set up on his stuff. You can restore your managed backups. So I just made a backup before I started this. That way, if I goofed anything up in the process of this, I can just click and overwrite current layout. Yes, I'm not going to do it because I haven't really screwed anything up. Quick start. And this is what you're actually going to see when you set up your Nova Launcher. You can reset it to default, start it from scratch, or you can use another launcher's layout. So if you have your launcher that shipped with your phone, be it One UI from Samsung, be it Oxygen launcher from OnePlus, be it LG, I don't even know what the hell LG calls theirs, whatever, their launcher, whatever, you can import. Cancel. Let's see here. Select your... Okay. One caveat I should have gone into first, and I completely forgot about, but Nova Launcher Prime. So, a lot... I won't say... I honestly have no idea how many of the options I've just rattled off to you are Prime only. I will say this. Get the Prime. It's been at least 4 years since I bought it, and I think it's like $5 or something along those lines. I mean, literally the price of a freaking Big Mac. Get the Prime. It's beautiful. Just go with it. You can drop comments. You can show the about, so you get all your translations. These are all the translations that they come in. You have your licensings. Let's see here. Select your default launcher, and that'll let you choose that. Then they are on Discord. They have FAQ, and they have Twitter. You can do error reporter. You can restart Nova Launcher, and you can set your screen lock method. So, if I wanted to give this admin and accessibility, I could do so and go back into gestures and inputs and say do a double tap and it would lock my screen. Always, please. Thank you. Again, it's going to kind of kick this up because of the fact that I don't have it set up for accessibility or admin. So, fine. Whatever. Okay. Those are the settings. Couple more real quick things. You can go away now if you want to, or if you want to hang out for some bonus material. I am going to show y'all a quick method of tinkering with photos or folders. So right now I have this set up: Telegram, Discord, Messages. Now, ooh, I goofed something up there. Okay, we need to go back in and change that real quick. So let's go to folders. Let's go to folder icon and appearance. Let's go to jack up my transparency. Let's go to window, transparency, scroll direction vertical. That should. There we go. Okay. So, what we're going to do, we can long press, edit, and now I have swiped open folder selected. Done. So now you have the regular folder. And then you have to tap and then tap. Okay. But if you edit, swipe to open folder, tap action is first item in folder, or you can change that to doing something completely different. So I could actually tap the folder and get, oh, I don't know. Let's really screw with someone. Let's do AMOLED wallpapers. Done. So if I just tap it, it opens up AMOLED wallpapers. Or we can edit, first time in folder, hit done, that brings it back to that. So tapping opens that up. Swiping up opens that. That's how you can deal with that one. Again, tap or swipe up. Tap or swipe up. There we go. Tap or swipe up. So on and so forth. Widget placement. So, again, if you want to put a widget on, so what are widgets? Widgets are basically quick glimpses into a certain app. So long press, widgets, and we can set up a Nova action, set up a Nova activity, show app or short folder shortcut, or search bar. But for right now, we'll get into that. That'll be a little bit more complex. We'll get into some of that later on. But for right now, let's say we chose to do Google News. So now I could actually have a briefing thing here, and we can resize, drag it down, and see what else is going on. I can actually, because I have widget overlap enabled, I can set it up so that it actually covers. Actually, Yeah, so it actually covers my icons. Why I would do that, I have no idea, but I could. Either way, so resize it to whatever you want to do. Then tap it again. Okay. There we go. Now we can just go from various story to story. That's what that kind of widget would do. You have widgets for Netflix. You've got let's see here, widgets for Gmail, for Google, historical calendar. Historical calendar is actually pretty freaking cool. Various internet, icon packs, keep notes, Lightroom, etc., etc., etc. Basically, if you have an app, chances are you probably have a widget for it. All you need to do is long press on your home screen, go into widgets, and explore. Find something you like. Wallpapers. Again, long press on your home screen, wallpaper, and you can choose. You can pick an image. You have your wallpapers, prehistorical wallpapers that you've done before. Click on that one, set wallpaper, home screen, I'm good. You can actually go in here and choose wallpapers based on apps and themes. So AMOLED walls, Wallcraft, various icon packs, Galaxy themes because I'm on an Android device. You can pick some live wallpapers. In this case, it'll be from Zedge because that's the only live wallpaper curator I have on this phone right now. And of course, your settings, which we just went through. So, those are some fairly basic. Oh yeah, if you have a home screen and you want to get rid of it, you just go over here, long press, and remove. If you want to add a home screen, you just tap the plus button there. Remove. That's your home. Okay. So yeah, those are some fairly basic functions. Later on, we'll get into things like KWGT widget. We can get into some serious theming, maybe incorporate Sesame, get into the nuts and bolts of refining your app drawer and really sinking into things like your tabs and your stuff like that, if you like. Let me know what questions y'all still have, what you want to know, any commentary, critique, ideas for future stuff, whatever. And I will see y'all next time.